All right, what's the fuel savings on a diesel electric truck going to be? What are the miles per gallon? That's a really good question, but it's also one of the hardest ones for me to answer. You see, if we were making a dry van, a truck that's just going to be going down the interstate, pulling 80,000 pounds on flat ground, we could calculate it, we could tell you the miles per gallon, but that's not what we're making. We're making heavy haul vocational trucks. We're making logging trucks, gravel trucks, cement trucks, hydrovac trucks, service rigs, low bedding trucks. These really depend what you're doing. I don't know how to answer the mile per gallon question on a logging truck because the answer is it depends what your road looks like. So I'm going to answer it the best I can. I'm going to show you the data on the generator, the fuel consumption on the generator. I'm going to show you how long the truck can run off its batteries before you got to fire the generator, how long it takes to generate. That'll tell you the runtime. And then we'll just have to basically figure it out from there, because the best way to do it is put the electric truck next to a diesel truck and see what the difference is. That's a little bit harder to do as we're just testing at bobtailing and we're working our way up to full loads, and I'll start showing you the difference between the two. But for now, here's just what the technical data says. So this is the motor we're going with. It's a C9 Caterpillar, which means it's a 9-liter diesel motor. This is what replaces the C15, which is what the normal truck would have. An equivalent 15-liter motor. So this puts out about 240 kilowatts, 250 kilowatts. We have 100 kilowatt hour batteries, which means it'll take about half an hour at 75% load to fully charge the truck batteries. And in an hour, it burns 48 liters of fuel. So therefore, in half an hour, it's burning 24 liters of fuel. So we learned in our truck, running around just kind of as a bobtail, we got about 3 hours out of a bobtail rig. And then we got to fire the generator up and build that power back up, which means that in 3 hours of driving, we use 24 liters of fuel, which means we burn 8 liters per hour driving around. However, when you put a trailer on, you lower your range. Maybe it's down to 2. And if you're pulling Super Bs, you'll probably need to fire up you'll probably get an hour of runtime out of this engine before you got to fire it up, which means you're burning it every single hour. You're burning 24 liters per hour running your trains. So that kind of gives you a little bit different thing. But then you got to consider the regenerative braking too. On a logging truck, you're going up the hill empty and you're coming down loaded. That regenerative braking is going to recharge your logs, which means you may almost never have to fire the generator up, maybe just a little bit to get to the mill. In a full day, you might only run that generator for half an hour because your regen's coming in. See how that makes a bit of a difference there? On the right logging application, like on the West Coast, you might only burn 25, 50 liters a day in fuel instead of 500 liters. That's a huge savings. On a highway truck, your fuel savings might only be like 5%. On a logging truck, you could be up to 95%. So our fuel savings is somewhere between 5 to 100%.